Look at the art of will. And with the art of will, you can see how two men can receive the same message from God, but it be filtered depending on who and what the particular person represents. You have Christ saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. On this lies the whole law and the prophets. On this hangs all the law and all the prophets. And then you have Aleister Crowley saying, do what thou wilt. This shall be the whole of the law. Both things are 100% true. And both things are 100% coming from the all, which is God, the all God, the highest level of God. Both of these statements are contained in what we can consider all, right? All things. These two statements are in all. They are included in all things. So this means they're included in God. They're two different men who represent two different things. And both of them are 100% right because both of them are ultimately coming from the same source. Christ was saying that the law and the prophets lay on doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, just doing whatever you will, this really is the entirety of the law, but not the prophets. To just do whatever you will is ultimately what the law is going to be among man and among all. It's ultimately going to come down to what you are willing. That's going to be the entirety of the law. But the prophets is a different thing. It has a different use of doing what you will. It's doing what you will, considering the fact that what you do to others will be done to you. That's the prophet part. And prophet means prophet, the homonym. There will be no gain if you don't do what you will under the consideration that what you do unto others will be done to you. There will be no profit. But if you're just not concerned with profit and you're doing it just for the sake of testing your urge, seeing where you can go in terms of your actions, your thought, if you're doing something to try and stretch and I guess differentiate, or I should say modify is a better word. That's what I'm looking for. If you should do something to modify your character, that will be just doing what you will. If you're a timid person and you need to have a show of courage and you know that your life isn't going to get better unless you become a courageous person, and all of a sudden the next time the bully gets at you, instead of, you know what I mean, you just end up unleashing all of the pent up times that you failed to be courageous, and it all comes out in that one moment. You are doing what you will. That is the whole of the law. But there won't be any profit in it necessarily, unless in this case you're doing unto others as you would have them do to you. In that case, you're justified in defending yourself, especially if you're put in a corner and backed with limited range, with your social distancing closed, and under a confrontational energy. Seriously, the right to defend yourself is also the reason why there's a right to bear arms. There's discrepancies going on with the technicalities behind the rights to bear arms, because with tons and tons and tons of AK-47s out there, people may not be hunting for animals as much as they are hunting for other human beings. So the NRA, they have their hands full. They have their hands full with, what they have to face, on and off the books, of course. So send as many positive energies to the National Rifle Association that you can, because, the freedom of speech is one thing, but the right to defend yourself, whether you're saying anything or not, is entirely another. So doing what you will is definitely going to be the whole of what law ultimately becomes in society, but there won't be any profit. Take it from the prophets, unless you do unto others, doing what you will under the consideration that what you're doing will be done to you. Look over your life. And again, you could consider this a part 2 or a reiteration of the Lord's Prayer. This is the being forgiven of your trespasses as you forgive those who trespassed against you. You're still doing unto others as you would have done unto you. If conflicts are being started in your life, the first thing you should do is look through your life and see where you started conflicts with others, because this is the right way to go. This is the way the path should be traveled. Go within first and then without. Your senses are there to record the information. You got to take it back into the storehouse and go over. You have to take it back into the lab and do the alchemy. And these things happen within nanoseconds. So it's not like you got to really leave. You can, you know what I mean, take no thought, therefore, for what you will say. The Spirit will give you what needs to be said at the time if you're in it. And that name is Hallow. I am. You can step into it. It's not ironclad. It's not closed. It's not a cutoff grid. It's not only for the privileged. It's not like that. But a realization of it will make you the privileged, and it will make you elite, and it will make you an illumined. It will make you a true Illuminati. It will make you a true master builder, though, if you receive this. This is what it means to really be elite. Without that, you just have the monetary manufacturings of elitists based on economic power and status and control. But in that, you still have the power to think. You still do. If you're not brain dead, then you still have the power. And we can't determine even where a person who's brain dead goes. We don't know if they may have really left their body perpetually in the dream, just living out the next life already, while the shell is left behind to breathe. We don't know for sure. So consciousness is left up to will again, doing what you will. You still have to do what you will. You still have to do what you are willing. Your will, your faith still has to have works. It still has to have action. Your will still has to match your deeds. You still have to be willing. You still have to do what you will. You still have to do what thou wilt. This is the whole of the law. But again, if you want the profits of it, consider what you're doing to others. Peace.